Hi guys, it's Smiles here. Today I'm going to be talking about the Amonkhet spoilers we've seen so far. So these are just some camera phone pictures that have leaked today, and there's no proof that they're legitimate yet, but these sort of spoilers and leaks are quite consistent with Magic. We get them with pretty much every set. So first of all, let's look at the Liliana card that's leaked. Based on the converted mana cost and the artwork, I'm quite certain this is the Planeswalker deck Liliana that we've seen in the packaging already. And it doesn't look that great, in all honesty. I think the starting loyalty, although it isn't in the card, I think it's going to be 4 or 6. The reason being, I don't think they want you to start with 5, get up to 11 with the +2 ability, and then -10 and still keep her around. I think they'll want you to get rid of her or go that extra turn to try and keep her there, like they do with most Planeswalkers designs. The -3 ability could be quite good, but I think you definitely need other ways of doling out -1/-1 counters, and I think she'd have to start with a loyalty of 5 minimum for it to be any good. Either way, I think this card's going to be practically unplayable. So then we have Gideon, who I think is infinitely more playable than the Liliana, regardless of the starting loyalty. It's got a much lower cost, and his +2 can have a huge effect in the right deck. His 0 ability is a standard Gideon becomes a 5/5 guy situation, and if he sticks around long enough and you have enough creatures, his ultimate is a game ender. Maybe this Gideon will see some play when Ally of Zendikar finally rotates out. We've also seen Glorybringer, which is a 4/4 flyer with haste for 5. It also uses a new mechanic called Exert, and if I had to guess, I think it's either going to prevent the creature from untapping on the following turn, or it's going to give it a -1/-1 counter. I think the latter is more likely, just because of the Liliana's minus ability, and I also predict -1/-1 counters playing a larger part in this set. There's still a chance yet that we might see the return of Proliferate, if not in this set, then maybe in the second set of the block. Overall, I'm pretty certain this card's going to see some play. It gives you a free Flame Slash whenever you attack with the creature, obviously on the provision that you exert, but that 4 damage is probably going to deal with most flyers that are going to be in Glorybringer's way. It can only target non-dragon creatures, so in the mirror match it becomes a little tricky, but also depending on the relevance of dragons in the set, it might end up being too situational anyway. So I'm quite excited about this next card, which is Archfiend of Ilfnir, because it confirms the return of cycling. And this is exciting by itself, but this card in particular is going to find a home in Living End almost instantly. But in Standard it's exciting because it looks like we'll be able to make better use of Demon of Dark Schemes. That card has some serious lack of support at the moment. I think they may have designed this card before deciding on keeping Innistrad and Zendikar blocks in Standard for longer. There could be some serious potential for Madness themed decks to abuse this card. Now I'm just excited to see other cards that we're going to get with cycling as well. Another card that's been spoiled is Oracle's Vault, which at first glance just seems like a bad brain in the jar, but this all depends on what other methods we have of putting brick counters onto our permanents. Also, the converted mana cost 4 seems a bit much, but it isn't too crazy considering that you have to pay 2 to tap it. So on turn 5, which is the first opportunity you'll have, you'll be able to cast up to a converted mana cost 3 spell. So this card combos really well with Paradox Engine, and I definitely foresee a deck being made around those 2 cards. If you have 3 brick counters on this with the Paradox Engine, you can tap this, cast the card off the top of your deck, and then just untap it immediately. And then if you have some mana rocks or some land open, you can still cast other cards in between to untap it to keep the combo going. And the combo synergizes really heavily with Planeswalkers. In that regard, if you flip a Fatal Push and you have no creature to target, the combo's dead. But with a Planeswalker that you would then play to the field for free, it has an option of what abilities it wants to use. It doesn't have to use any abilities at all, but it does keep the combo going. I think on top of that, all the Oath cards, this, Paradox Engine and the Planeswalkers, there could be a really powerful Super Friends deck in Standard. So the last card I'm going to talk about is actually the first card that was spoiled, or rather leaked, for Amonkhet, which is Dusk Dawn. So this card's quite interesting because it's a 2-part card, and the first part you can cast from your hand, and the second part you can only cast from your graveyard, and then it also becomes exiled. So this is a lot like a flashback card where, depending on where you cast it from, it has a different effect. So I can see this card being used in a lot of different decks, but I can see this card really making Human Tribal in Standard a strong archetype, considering we're probably going to see some more really powerful human cards come in Amonkhet, plus the ones we have already like Hamlet Captain, Thalia's Lieutenant, Hanweir Garrison Captain, etc. This card could be really powerful. So that's all I have to say for now about the cards that have been leaked for Amonkhet. If you've enjoyed the video, give it the thumbs up. If you want to see some more, subscribe, and comment below on the sort of thing you'd like to see in future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.